AITA for taking a chip from my best friend's girlfriend's plate on a double date? Okay, so I, 27M, need some outside perspective because I'm still kind of reeling from this whole mess that went down last weekend, and I can't tell if I'm the jerk here or if I just got caught in some weird overreaction. I know this sounds like a small thing, like it's literally about a chip, but hear me out because it's snowballed into this super awkward situation, and now I'm questioning everything. Sorry in advance if this gets long. I'm just going to lay it all out so you guys get the full picture. For context, my best friend Jake, 28M, and I have been tight since high school. Like, we've been through everything together. Late night gaming sessions, bad breakups. That one time we tried to camp in his backyard and ended up sleeping in his mom's living room because we got freaked out by raccoons. He's the kind of guy who'd give you the shirt off his back, but he's also not great at confrontation, which is important later. About a year ago, Jake started dating Sarah, 26F, and they're pretty serious now. I've hung out with Sarah a bunch, and she's always been fine, I guess. She's super into fitness and posts a lot of gym selfies on Instagram, but she's not, like, mean or anything. Just kind of particular, if that makes sense. Like, she's got this vibe where you can tell she likes things her way. So last week, Jake hits me up and says he and Sarah want to set me up with Sarah's best friend, Emily, 25F. I've been single for a while. My last relationship ended like 2 years ago because my ex moved across the country for work, and I've been kind of meh about dating since. I'm not desperate or anything, but I'm open to meeting someone cool, so I was like, yeah, sure, why not? Jake was hyping Emily up, saying she's chill, loves hiking, and has a great sense of humor. I figure a double date would be low pressure, especially since Jake and Sarah would be there to keep things from getting weird. Spoiler, I was wrong. Jake texts me the plan. We're going to this trendy gastropub downtown that Sarah picked out. It's one of those places with exposed brick walls, Edison bulbs, and a menu that's like artisanal burgers with locally sourced kale. Not my usual spot. I'm more of a dive bar wings guy, but I'm trying to make a good impression, so I'm like, cool, whatever. Jake says he'll pick me up at 7, and I spend way too long trying to figure out what to wear. I end up in a button-up shirt and jeans, which feels like the right level of I care, but I'm not trying too hard. I'm nervous, but also kind of excited. Emily sounds nice, and I'm thinking maybe this could be the start of something. Jake pulls up in his beat-up Honda Civic, and Sarah's in the front seat, scrolling through her phone. Emily's in the back, and she's super friendly right off the bat. We chat a bit on the drive over. She's in a true crime podcast and works as a graphic designer, so we're vibing okay. Sarah's mostly quiet, just giving Jake directions to the restaurant. I notice she's got this massive water bottle with motivational quotes on it, like, "You are enough," and "Slay your day." I don't think much of it at the time, but it's one of those details that sticks out later. We get to the restaurant, and it's packed. Like, there's a 20-minute wait, but Sarah apparently made a reservation. Of course she did. So we get seated right away at this little 4-person table near the bar. The place is loud, but it's got a good energy, and I'm feeling pretty optimistic. Emily and I are looking over the menu, joking about how everything sounds like it was invented by a hipster food scientist. Truffle aioli? What even is that? Jake's being his usual goofy self, and Sarah's, well, she's smiling, but it's that tight-lipped smile where you can tell she's not totally relaxed. I figure she's just stressed about the date going well or something. We order drinks, beers for me and Jake, some kind of lavender-infused cocktail for Sarah, and a soda for Emily because she's not drinking tonight. The conversation's flowing okay, but I notice Sarah's kind of dominating it, talking about her new spin class and how she's trying to cut out gluten. Emily's nodding along, but I can tell she's not super into it. I try to steer things back to neutral ground, asking Jake about this new game he's been playing, and we get a little banter going. It's not perfect, but it's a decent double date vibe so far. Then the food comes out, and this is where everything goes sideways. We all order burgers, but with different sides. I got straight cut fries because I'm basic like that. Jake got onion rings, Emily got a side salad, and Sarah got curly fries. I didn't even notice the curly fries when we ordered, but when her plate shows up, they look amazing, all golden and crispy, piled high next to her burger. My fries are fine, but they're just fries, you know? Nothing special. Everyone's digging in, and I'm halfway through a bite of my burger when I glance at Sarah's plate again. I'm curious about the curly fries, so I just say, super casually, "Oh, how do those taste?" and reach over to grab one fry. Like literally one single fry. I'm not pawing through her food or anything. I just pick it up, pop it in my mouth, and smile like, not bad. Y'all, the look Sarah gave me. It was like I just slapped her grandma. Her eyes went wide. Her mouth dropped open. And she goes, "What the fuck? Did you just touch my food?" I freeze, fry still in my mouth, because I genuinely didn't expect this reaction. Like, I've shared food with Jake a million times. Hell, we've eaten off each other's plates since we were 16. I figured it was no big deal, especially since I only took one fry. But Sarah's staring at me like I committed a felony, and the table goes dead silent. Emily's looking at her plate, Jake's pretending to be super interested in his onion rings, and I'm just sitting there like an idiot. I swallow the fry, which, for the record, was pretty good, and try to recover. I'm like, "Oh, sorry, did you want some of my fries?" I push my plate toward her a little, thinking maybe we could just trade and laugh it off. I'm trying to be fair, you know? But Sarah's not having it. She turns to Jake and says, "Nope, I'm not eating." Then she throws her fork and knife onto the table. Not like violently, but loud enough that it makes a clatter. She crosses her arms, leans back in her chair, and just glares straight ahead. I'm mortified. My face is burning, and I can feel Emily shifting uncomfortably next to me. This is supposed to be a fun double date, and now it's like I've ruined everything over a stupid curly fry. I'm not great with confrontation, but I know I gotta say something, so I go, "I'm really sorry, Sarah. I didn't know you didn't like people touching your plate. Can I order you a new plate or something?" I'm practically begging at this point because I feel like such a jerk and I just want to fix it. But Sarah just doubles down. She goes, "Nope," and then, "Nope," again like she's making a point. Emily tries to help, saying, "Hey, you can have some of my salad if you want." But Sarah just shakes her head and keeps staring at the wall. It's so stubborn, I'm starting to get a little annoyed, but I'm still mostly embarrassed. Like, was taking one fry really that big of a deal? The rest of the meal is brutal. Nobody's talking. I'm picking at my fries, which now taste like guilt. Emily's trying to make small talk about her job, but it's clear she's just filling the silence. Jake's eating his burger like it's his last meal, probably wishing he was anywhere else. Sarah's just sitting there, arms crossed, not touching her food. I keep replaying the moment in my head, wondering if I missed some obvious social cue. Like, maybe she's got a thing about germs? Or maybe she's super possessive about her food, but she didn't say anything before, and I didn't think one fry would be a capital crime. After what feels like an eternity, Jake clears his throat and goes, "Hey, let's step out for a smoke." He's a casual smoker, and I don't smoke, but I'm like, "Yeah, sure," because anything is better than sitting at that table. We head to the little smoking area outside, and I immediately start apologizing. I'm like, "Dude, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to piss her off. I'll pay for her meal, or whatever." But Jake cuts me off and says, "Nah, man, don't worry about it. She's just like that sometimes." He takes a drag of his cigarette and looks kind of tired. I ask if she's always weird about food, and he just shrugs and says, "She's particular. It's not you," which doesn't really make me feel better, but at least he's not mad. We go back inside, and Sarah's still in full sulk mode. Emily's scrolling through her phone, probably texting someone about how this date is a disaster. We finish eating, or at least Jake, Emily, and I do. Sarah's plate is untouched except for the one fry I took, which feels like a neon sign pointing at my screw-up. The server comes by, and I ask for the check, figuring I'll cover it to smooth things over. Sarah doesn't even look at me when I say I've got it. Jake tries to argue, but I insist because I feel like I owe him for putting him in this spot. We leave the restaurant, and the car ride home is painful. Nobody says much. Emily thanks me for dinner, but it's clear she's just being polite. Sarah's staring out the window, sipping from her motivational water bottle like it's her lifeline. Jake drops me off at my place, and I mumble something about having a good time, even though we all know it was a lie. I text Jake later that night to apologize again, and he just says, "It's cool, don't stress." But I'm stressing big time. The next day, I'm overthinking everything. Like, was I that out of line? I mean, I know some people don't like sharing food, but Sarah's reaction felt so over the top. I've been replaying it in my head, wondering if I came off as rude or entitled. I even Googled, is it rude to take food off someone's plate, and got a bunch of mixed answers. Some people said it's fine if you're close with the person. Others said it's a hard no unless you ask first. I didn't think I needed to ask because it was one fry, and I offered her some of mine right after. But maybe I'm missing something? I also feel bad for Emily because I probably tanked any chance of a second date. She seemed nice, but who wants to go out again with a guy who caused a scene over a curly fry? I thought about texting her to apologize, but I don't even have her number. Jake set everything up. I asked Jake if Sarah's said anything since, and he just said she's over it but didn't elaborate. I'm not sure I believe him. I haven't heard from Sarah directly, which isn't surprising since we're not super close, but I'm worried she's bad-mouthing me to Emily or their other friends. So, Reddit, AITA here. I feel like I made an honest mistake, but Sarah's reaction was so intense that I'm second-guessing myself. Should I have asked before taking the fry? Was offering my fries or a new plate not enough? Or is Sarah just being dramatic? I'm legit torn because I don't want to be that guy who thinks he's in the right, but is actually a jerk. Please give it to me straight. What do you think? Edit, just to clarify a couple things since I'm seeing some questions in the comments, assuming y'all comment, LOL. First, I didn't know Sarah was super particular about food. She's never said anything about it when we've hung out before, and Jake didn't warn me. Second, I did apologize multiple times at the table and offer to make it right, but she just shut me down. Also, the fry was from the top of her plate, not like I was about to eat it or anything gross. Hope that helps clear things up.